Oink, oink, oink. Guys, we snagged a trade here on the Asia. This was really stressful here, guys. We were so close to our stop. We managed to hit the take profit here. 4.5 R. I took some off here around 2 R, and then some more at about 3 R, and then let a little bit run just after 4 R. So I gotta do shit outside with all this virus bullshit going on. I have to actually get outside and do stuff, and then we got to get rid of. We got to take advantage of it while it's actually here before it starts raining. So, throw a barbecue, pick up some ladies, jump into the ocean. I think that sounds like a good plan today. First, we'll hit the gym, guys. So I just had an idea. What if I flew out a fan to Vancouver and gave him a full fucking mentorship over like 3 days or something like that, and then we, you know, we celebrated a little bit, had a party, something like that. That'd be really freaking cool, and just really made a great time for that fan. It would be obviously some sort of random draw, and you know, I'd be paying for the flight or whatever. But it's an idea right now. That's all I have to say about that. Let's chat briefly about making the most out of your life. I often make plans, such as we're going to be going to this rope swing thing and jumping into the ocean there. And just because, you know, you can kind of see it's a cloudy day, that's a reason for people to exit the plan, right? So often people just want to look for a reason not to do things, guys. And just because it's going to be cold doesn't mean that there's not going to be exciting, right? This life is finite. You got to make the most out of every freaking moment that you can. We barely have much time that's going to be at least nice-ish on this next week, so I gotta get outside and do something. Take advantage of those little moments you can. There's actually something that I use to motivate myself here. If you can see, it says my life in weeks, and it's just a bunch of boxes, right? And it's basically 88 years, each box is a year, and I'm started color coding them. They're color coded, and basically my whole goal here is to make them all green and blue. Blue means I did something cool. Green is I just had a good week. Black, neutral, red is bad. So you can see, since I started color coding it, I only had one bad week, and I've been doing a ton of crazy shit, and it's just kind of fun this way, and then you can look back at it in the long run, and know that you actually kind of did all that you could rather than letting life pass you by. So gonna be going to pick up somebody here pretty quick.
Nice looking camera, by the way.
Yeah, I made it myself. I had sex with a TV, and you know, kept it in my belly for 9 months, and then pooped it out.
Wow, you got good genes for.
Yeah.
Large boulder.
That looks like a large boulder. This is crazy steep, eh? Yo.
Hey, what's up?
That was steep, man.
Thank you.
Like how you guys like went down there, I was like, no.
Right, so the rope swing, he says, is dangerous, hey?
Like, yeah, it looks like they cut it down before and then they put it back up.
Or like if you're running off a cliff, you just
Yeah, holy fuck, that's tall, hey? Holy shit. I'm terrified of heights, man.
This is high for you?
It's like 20 feet.
Yeah, I'll do a small one first.
Yeah, so recording. Okay, good.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
Oh no, the rock was in the way.
All right. As promised, guys, I'm going to show you guys how I come up with so many awesome strategies. Obviously, you have to use the market maker logic. You have to use the same trading logic that you use for everything to create new strategies. But this is going to be kind of the requirements for a valid strategy to make it most profitable. These are kind of the things I look for in order to find a good strategy and the step-by-step kind of checklist that I'll go through in order to make a new strategy here. So let's dive into it. What we're generally going to be wanting to do is we're going to be looking for a number of things. We're basically going to be looking for the trend. We want to make sure that we're going with the trend. We want to look for an area of interest that we might want to be looking for a trade to be entered in on during that trend. Then we're going to be wanting to look for a fractaling pattern on the lower time frame that gives us the okay, we should look for an entry now. And then we're going to be wanting to actually have, I got to hold down my pinky here. We're actually going to be wanting to have an entry. So it's a 4-step process. You can add multiple things here too if you wanted, you know, time. You could add news. These are different things like that, but they're not necessarily needed. These are the 4 requirements, step-by-step breakdown in order to create a strategy. So let's kind of come up with just a ridiculous strategy, for example, and let's use those structure. I'm going to come up with something absolutely on the spot here right now, and let's say, okay, I want to be following the trend here, and I like moving averages, for example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking for a moving average. We're going to add a moving average, and it's going to be something so simple. If it's above the moving average on the higher time frame, the daily, we're going to be looking for longs. And if it's below the moving average, we're going to be looking for shorts. So that's going to be our trend determination. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look for an area of interest. Okay, so where are we going to be wanting to buy? So right now we're in a buy situation. So then what we can do is maybe let's jump it down to a lower time frame. And let's say we want to buy on a untested zone, right? Supply and demand, or a high and a low, something like that. So in this example, let's say we want to buy on a untested blast off zone here. So an FVG, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for this FVG to be filled here, and we're going to look for a buy in that zone there, right? So you can jump down, look at the lower time frame here and see what this looks like. So a lower time frame, we kind of had that supply and demand, that demand zone there, and that's what we're going to be wanting to look for here, just using a lower time frame to find an area of interest that we're going to be wanting to buy in on. So somewhere around there, we'll draw that out there. Now we have our first one, we have our trend, and we have our buy zone here. Then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking for some sort of fractal on that zone. So let's say we like to look for double bottoms, right? Just a double bottom, or, you know, it could be a slightly adjusted where it's like this, where it sweeps this low here, something like that. And it could be very simple. You know, you could just say, okay, this side has to break below that side and then pivot above, right? So we have to change the trend on here. Or, you know, again, if you like moving averages, you can say, okay, on the 5 minute, I want the moving average to shift on that level. So let's do that. Let's add a moving average here. Let's do a moving average again, just as a silly example. And we want the moving average to shift on that level. So once the moving average shifts back to the buy signal, right, we're going to see something like this on that zone. After it touches this zone, then we can look for a buy. The next step would be look for some sort of retracement. So let's use the moving average example, and let's say we'll enter on the moving average, right? So let's look back and see how this would have worked in the past here. So this is just an example. I have no idea if this is going to work, guys. This is just using simple moving averages, and this is how I create my strategies and then test them out. So what we want to look for here is, let's say I had a untested-ish zone that we could have entered in on the lows here. So previous days here, we had a zone right about here, and let's draw that out. That's our untested zone. And then we come down and we test it. We then pass the moving average, we enter on the retest of the moving average right there. And let's say we put our stop on the lows and we target some highs or something like this, right? So we have like 1.7 R. That's a good trade there. Let's see if this actually works again somewhere else. This is an untested zone here. Let's draw this out. We're on the bullish side still, because remember, the daily is still bullish. So that's our zone, untested, because it came up there. And the first test on the 1 hour comes back down here. Let's see how it works. Okay, we test it. We then pass it and retest. We enter here on the retest. We put our stop there. And maybe we take profit along the way. I don't know. That's a pretty good trade though, 3R. I would be taking profit before 3R for sure. So you would definitely be, again, profitable there. This is, again, literally, I'm just doing this on the spot. And I made the strategy, just came up to my mind out of nothing. So again, let's look for another untested zone that actually got tested. So this was an untested zone right here. After a blast off, we were still bullish because the daily time frame, untested zone. Let's look what that looks like. Okay, we touched it here, not there. And then we passed it. The retest, let's say that retested the moving average right here. And then we put our stop below there. And we maybe would have been stopped out here. We maybe would have gotten some profit off this level. Who knows? Right, again, depends on what your strategy is. Here's an untested zone once again. Untested inefficiency right there. We got tested on this time right here. Rally back in, retest here on the moving average. Entry, stop, and then target somewhere up here, right? And that looks pretty dang good. I mean, I literally just made the strategy on the spot. While making this video, I had no idea what was going into it. Before the video, I just used the same structure and we found 3 out of 4 trades were profitable. Mind you, this is using moving averages and they're quite slow. I would not recommend this strategy. You can find your own. I'm sure there's one that's better. So guys, that's everything. So to reiterate what we want to do, follow the trend. We want to find an area that we want to buy in on. We want to see a fractaling pattern on that area. We want to wait for some sort of retracement, some sort of level to buy in on, and then you can manage your trade as you needed. And that's not all of it, because now you got to learn how to manage your trade as well. So make sure you follow along Hunter FX. I will teach you everything you need to know. There's streams, there's other things. I know, most woke trading guru in the world. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Listen.